This is your objective of this unit, chemical bonding. Okay. In chemical bonding, first of all, we have to focus on covalent bond. You can see there covalent bonding and shape and angle here. Covalent bonding. Our first objective is understand the meaning of covalent bonding and dative bonding. Covalent bonding and dative bonding. I am still waiting for Hamad actually. I sent him this. Still only one. I sent him code also. I don't know. Maybe he got some kind of problem or what. Okay. Let's see later I will do for him. Please read this objective or what you got. Understand the meaning of covalent bonding and dative bond. I wrote here coordinate bond and this is another name is dative bond. You can say dative bond. First, what is chemical bond actually? How you define what is chemical bond? Any one of you, please. I don't know what is the problem. Still is waiting or what? Okay. Stop now, please. What is chemical bond? Can read it. A bond results from the attraction of nuclei of for electrons. Very simple way, when one atom combines with another atom, we call chemical bond, and we represent by a line dash, like hydrogen. One hydrogen joined with another hydrogen, like chlorine, one chlorine joined with another chlorine, like nitrogen joined with hydrogen. So this line actually represents what? Chemical bond. When it will form, when one substance donate electron and another gain electron. This is the first possibility you study in grade 9 ionic bonding. Before this, because our topic is covalent, but ionic bond. What is the ionic bond? Then metal and non-metal. Metal and you can see the periodic table. Metal, which side and metal? Left side, and non-metal on your right side. Understand? So when metal combined with non-metal, we call ionic bond. But we will not study how covalent bond will form. See here in the second, in other words, how you define the covalent bond. The proton in one molecule nucleus are attracted to the electron of another atoms. When suppose you have cut here, this is only the nucleus, and another atoms you have, there is the electron, E negative. When proton of one atom attracted by electron of another atom, you can see in other words, the proton in one nucleus, the speed proton positive of one nucleus are attracted to the electron of another atom. Suppose this one another atom, maybe chlorine, maybe another atom, any other. When proton of first atom attracted by electron of another atom, then they will form chemical bond. This is the first what is bond. So very simple way, when two atoms combine together, that's it. When two atoms combine together, we call chemical bond. It's clear now what is chemical bond? Yes. See the next. Generally, we have three types of chemical bonding: ionic, metallic, and covalent. Ionic you did in grade 9. Just for information here, when completely electron transfer from one atom to another, completely transfer electron. And metallic bonding, when one positive species attract with electron, mobile electron, we call metallic bonding. Come on and focus on covalent bonding actually. What is the covalent bonding here? Forms a molecule. First things, we cannot call compounds. Whenever you use the word compound, it's mean which type of bonding? Ionic bond. Whenever you use the word molecules, so molecules always comes as a result of sharing of electron. Like if you have two students, you have only one chemistry book. If you want to share, understand? You will not completely donate one another. You just put in center, okay, you can see. So when you share the book, similar situation, here the covalent bonding form as a result of sharing of electrons. Sharing of electron, when one atom shared electron with other, not completely transfer. You can see here, hydrogen, outer shell, how many electrons in hydrogen? 1, because it's atomic number only 1. When it shared electron with another hydrogen, plus second hydrogen, and its outer shell, another electrons are there. I just want to show the dot and cross. So these two are electrons. When they want to form a chemical bond, then what happens? First, they will share electron and they overlap each other. Like both atoms, they overlap with the shared electron, and one atom here dot you can see from the first and cross from another. When they share the electron, they form a chemical bond, and this type of bonding is known as covalent bonding. So it's depend upon they are going to share one electron, they are going to share two electron, or they are going to share three electron only the person. So single covalent bonding if they shared one, double covalent bonding if they shared two, triple covalent bonding if they shared three. That's it. So how many types of covalent bonding in general way? Three. Single, double, and triple. So how you divide this into single, double, and triple? It's depend upon number of electrons. How many electrons they are going to share? If they share one, single. If they share two electrons, like oxygen, O and O, oxygen share two electrons. So we got double covalent bonding. And nitrogen, N triple bond N. Nitrogen going to share three electrons in their outer shell. So we got triple covalent bonding, single, double, triple. It's depend upon number of electron. Number of electron. Here written sharing of valence electron. What do you mean by valence? Sharing of valence electron. Valence electron mean outer shell electron. See here, the last shell electron. Outer shell, how many electron here? 1. So this will share. Inner maybe 8, maybe 2, maybe 10. How many electron inside we are not going to share with others. But the last shell, complete shell, we also call valence shell. How many electrons are there? If they are going to share, so we call valence electron, valence shell, like stable shell. Now, we need to focus on only on covalent bonding. This just information that what is ionic and what is other, how you differentiate between ionic and covalent. So the only one difference is there, ionic bond formed between metal and non-metal, but covalent bond formed only between two non-metals. You can see there. Covalent bond form only between two non-metals, not metal and non-metal. This is the big difference between ionic and covalent. So we are going to study covalent. So pair of electrons are shared between two non-metal atoms. Pair of electrons shared between two non-metal. Keep in mind, maybe in multiple choice question, you will get like that covalent bonding form between metal and non-metal, between two metals, between two non-metals, and none of them. So what is your answer? Between two non-metals. Clear now this one? Acquire the electronic configuration of the noble gas. If there is a next reason why atoms form chemical bond, why atoms form a chemical bond. You saw before and nobody asked me the question. All atoms are trying to achieve a stable octet. What do you understand from this first slide I show, but I did not explain. I expecting maybe you will ask question. What do you know about this? Atoms are trying to achieve stable electronic configuration. Octet means the last shell, the outer shell, the stable shell. They are going to complete their outer shell to get the stability. That's why they form a chemical bond. So stable octet means they want stability of outer shell. If outer shell like 1 electron, but we need 8, it's unstable. If outer shell 7 electron, we need 1, also unstable. But if last shell 8 electron, yes, that is stable. That's why written here, the atoms are acquired to electronic configuration of noble gases. Why they want to compare with noble gases? Because all noble gases are stable. How we can say that all noble gases are stable? Because their outer shell, how many electrons? 8 electrons. That's why everything, if you need stability, you will compare with the noble gas. That's why they wrote here the noble gases. So why two nonmetals? Here written two nonmetals. Why these two nonmetals? They are going to form a chemical bond to get the stability or to get the electronic configuration like noble gases. Like noble gases. So till now, two questions. Define a chemical bond. Number one, what is the chemical bond? And second one, why atoms form a chemical bond? Clear now these two concepts? Why they form chemical bond? To make a stable electronic configuration. Think. To make a stable electronic configuration like noble gases. Now, as I told you, the electronic configuration of noble gases here in the last shell. The last shell, all are noble gases. And this is the zigzag line. This zigzag line, and before this, all are metal. And after this zigzag line, are non-metal. So the covalent bonding form between non-metals. Between non-metals only. Because these all are metals. These all are metals, but covalent bonding form between non-metals. Clear now? Okay. Now, here the information given what I explained you, the atoms form a covalent bond by sharing their valence electron, mean their outer electron, the last shell electrons. To get a stable octet of electron, what do you understand by stable octet? Filled valence shell of 8 electron. It means they need last shell how many electrons? 8 electrons. That's why they are going to form a covalent bonding. Now, electron dot diagram of atoms are combined to show the covalent bonding. Electron dot diagrams like this. This one is a dot, this one is a cross. Just dot and cross. Why we use these? Because you can understand easily that two atoms how they join with each other. If you can put here dot also, you know that reason, but this had electron dot and cross diagram. Dot and cross diagram, only one atom dot, another cross. We can differentiate between both that this electrons comes from second atom and this electrons comes from first atom. Only to differentiate between two atoms. That's why we represent electron by dot and by cross. So not necessary. You can put here cross, here dot. Clear now? Any one atoms with dot, another atom with cross, to show that how many electrons they are going to share. Like here, if we want to show the oxygen first atom having dot, oxygen second atom having cross, so we can count that how many electrons. Clear now? Dot and cross diagram only to represent that how many bonds they are going to form. Here, covalently bonded atom form a molecules. This is very special actually. Sometimes students get confused. Even a compound they form a covalent bonding. Compound cannot form covalent bonding. Compound formed as a result of ionic bond, not covalent bond. You can see here. As I told you in the first slide, that electron of, when I explain this one, the proton of first nucleus attracted by the electron of another nucleus, you can see there. See here, this positive attracted by negative. So proton of first nucleus, this one is of one atom, so the first one, sir. This one atom, and this circle is another atom. We have two atoms here. So proton of first atom attracted by electron of another atom when they form chemical bond, or opposite of this, proton of second atom attracted by electron of first atom, they form a chemical bond. So anyway, one proton attracted with electrons, they form a chemical bond. Clear now? Now, here, not these types of covalent bonding, that single, double and triple, this for grade 9. Now you are in grade 11, so we have more explanation there. So instead of single, double and triple bonding, I am going to use non-polar, polar, network, coordinate or rating. So you need to pay attention because this one is new for you. As I mentioned, there types is non-polar, polar, coordinate bond and network bond. Polar mean anything. Just I want to explain the word polar. What is the meaning of polar? Polar mean two parts. One is positive, another is negative. Understand that in physics you can also study. I think maybe you study north and south pole. Understand here also, if any substance like HCl, Cl negative and H positive, this sign I use, its mean partial. Partial positive, how we will read? This is called delta, half A delta. Delta positive or delta negative, how you read partial positive or partial negative. Here we cannot write complete positive and complete negative. Why? Because this is not ionic. If ionic, like NaCl, Na and Cl, you can write like this. No need to use this symbol. Understand now? Because this is ionic, completely they transfer the electron. But here they will not transfer electron completely. They are going to share the electron. That's why sharing of electron, they acquire a positive and negative charge. We call a polar molecule. So How they get this partial positive and negative charge, I will tell you when we will play the next topic. But now just focus here that when any molecules, I am using the word and with the stress, any molecules got partial positive and partial negative charge, we call polar. Understand? We call polar molecules. Clear now this one? Yes. Like North and South Pole. Yes, you can. But we cannot write directly positive and negative because they are not going to transfer they are going to share the electron. That's all. Clear now? And non-polar, we cannot divide positive and negative. That's it. Non-polar, we cannot divide into positive and negative. This is the first difference. Now, come on. Between them, there is another difference. How you differentiate between non-polar and polar molecules? How you differentiate between non-polar and polar molecules? How you will differentiate? Polar have positive and negative. Partial positive and negative. Good. And non-polar. We cannot. Positive and positive. Negative. Now, listen here, there is a very simple and very easy difference between both that we are going to use in covalent bonding. Here in polar, see here, in non-polar, covalent bonds, electrons are shared equally by atoms. Equally. Equal electron they are going to share. And non-polar, unequal. Understand? So use the words only equal and unequal. If they are going to show equal bonding between two atoms, we call non-polar. If they are going to show unequal, then we call polar. Look at here how you will understand equal or unequal. Okay? Look at here. Hydrogen, how many electrons? One. One. Good. We have two hydrogen. Both they have one electron. Clear now? Yes. Now I want to draw that their electronic configuration and see here the first electron. How many electrons in their outer shell? One. And I want to draw for another hydrogen. How many electrons in their outer shell? One. So both they are going to share how many electrons? Two. How many electrons from each? One. One from here, one from here. So they are going to share one electron. So they are equal or unequal? Equal because both they have one electron. Now, unequal. Come on here. Unequal sharing. That's why we call non-polar. Unequal sharing. Hydrogen, how many electrons? As we did before, one. Okay. So in hydrogen we have one electron. Now the second atom is Cl, as I wrote there. Cl. Cl atomic number is 17. Now, how many electrons in first shell? 2, 8, and 7. Total 17. 2, 8, and 7. So how many electrons in their outer shell? 7. Is written there. So last I am going to show the 7 electrons. One this one. 3, 4, 5, 2 to 4, 6 and 1, 7. Clear now? Yes. So here hydrogen going to share 1 electron, but chlorine share 7 electrons. So what do you think? Equal or unequal? Unequal sharing of electron. So when they overlap these molecules like this, you can see here this electron from chlorine and this electron from hydrogen, but chlorine having 7 electrons in their outer shell, hydrogen only 1. Yes, sir. This is the inner shell, first shell. So from the beginning I have told you that we will focus on the valence shell, means the last shell, not the in between here 2 here 8. But we will focus on the last shell, how many electrons they need to combine or they need to lose or they need how many electrons gain to complete the shell. So we will focus the last, that's why we did not consider here the two. Understand? The outer shell. So what do you think is here unequal? Here equal. So if electron, if two atoms, they share their electron equally for non-polar, and if they share unequally polar. Come and see please and read this. Read this one. Leave this word, the electronegativity difference. This I am going to explain. Leave this line, others you can see. Non-polar covalent bond, electrons are shared equally by atoms. Here, example HNH, Cl and Cl, N2, O2, these all are same atoms. If same atoms, they share same electron, mean equal electron. So we call non-polar covalent bonding. Next, yes. Germanium and hydrogen, their outer shell 1 electron. Silicon and hydrogen, outer shell 1 electron. That's why. Okay, now please. Here I use the words electronegativity difference. This I will tell you later when I will start this, okay? Now, read for polar please.
Polar covalent form. The electrons are not shared equally between the founding partners.
Next. Are not shared equally. Unequal. Unequal, how you will get the unequal?
By polar
Leave this electronegativity difference, I will explain you. But read the last two please and get the concept.
One end is slightly positive, the other is negative.
As I told you here, partial positive and partial negative. Slightly positive and slightly negative mean we are going to show partial positive and partial negative. Clear? Okay, next.
The charge distortion indicated using small delta as negative and as positive.
So charge distribution indicate using a small data partial positive and partial negative. So whenever you see partial positive and partial negative, it's mean which type of bond? Polar bond. Clear now? Any question please? Come on here that I am going to explain the electronegativity. First, after this, because we have another difference between non-polar and polar. First, I told you partial positive and negative. Second, equal and unequal. Third difference we are going to study by using this term, the electronegativity. So what do you understand from electronegativity? It is a force between two atoms. How you will define? Maybe here proper definition. It is a force between two atoms we call electronegativity. Wait. Focus here. It is the force between, very simple definition, it is the force between two atoms we call electronegativity. See here, two hydrogens are together, we will write always H2. Which force hold them together? Like we have written two atoms here. Then they combine, then they share electron. After sharing, we can write hydrogen molecules. H2 always. So it H2 mean how many atoms? Two atoms. So which kind of force force hold them like in diatomic moments too. The force between two atoms, either they are same atoms or different atoms. Like here H and C, this hydrogen, this chlorine, the bond formed between H and Cl. Which type of force hold these H and Cl together? What we call electronegativity. Electronegativity, the force of attraction between two atoms. That's it. The force of attraction between two atoms we call electronegativity. This is very important, and this topic is dominant in whole unit. That's why I am going to stress on this word. What do you understand by the term of electronegativity? It is a force between two atoms. So different elements, they have different electronegativity values, specific value for each atom. No need to memorize, but you need to get the concept. Like you can see here, fluorine, the value of electronegativity is 4. This one the highest, maybe multiple choice question you will get this one. This one is the highest electronegativity element in periodic table. So value of electronegativity maximum is 4. For all other element less than 4. Clear now this one? Maybe in multiple choice question you will get the which element having the maximum value of electronegativity. Fluorine, chlorine, nitrogen, carbon, hydrogen, or any other. So which one is the highest? Fluorine. No need to memorize this value. If I put the question about this, I will provide you these values like a periodic table. Clear now this one? But you must get the concept. Like see here, oxygen 3.4, chlorine 3.2. All elements, they have different value of electronegativity. What do you understand from this table? When they have different value of electronegativity, it means they have different power of attraction. Is it? Different forces between them. Now I want to go back to the original topic, non-polar and polar. Clear now what is electronegativity? It is a force of attraction between two atoms. Either they are same atoms or different atoms. Clear now? And the force of attraction depend upon the value of electronegativity. And this will represent always E dot N. Electronegativity. Electronegativity, because we have some student maybe you will get the spelling problem or something. The shortcut we will write. This is the abbreviation of electronegativity E dot N. Go back to this polar and non-polar, and you will get the concept. See, please. The first one is non-polar covalent bonding. What they wrote, electronegativity difference between two atoms is less than 0.3. Like suppose here, I am going to write the electronegativity. Please get the concept here. The electronegativity of one hydrogen is 2.2, another hydrogen is 2.2. So 2.2 minus 2.2, what is your answer? 0. 0. It is less than 0.3 or greater? Greater. Less than 0.3, it means which type of bonding? Non-polar. So this is the third difference. Again, I am going to revise. The first difference is partial positive and negative. Second difference is equal and unequal. And third difference, the value of electronegativity. If you got the value of less than 0.3, which type of covalent bonding? Clear now? How you will get the difference? Yes, minus the both value. Now come on the second one, please. In polar compound, the more electronegativity atoms attract the electron. How they form the covalent bonding?
While electronegativity is more than 0.6 and
less than 1.7, which type of bonding? Polar, yes sir.
What if it's greater than 1.7?
Greater than 1.7 till 2 or more than 2 ionic bond, not covalent. Okay? ionic bond. So this is the range between, if you got the value between 0.3 and 1.7 in between these two numbers, it's in which type of covalent bonding? Polar. Okay, see here, example. We got here 2.2 and here 3.4. What is your answer? We got chlorine value of 3.4.
1.2. Negative 1.2.
Hmm?
Negative 1.2.
Wait. Chlorine 3.2. Okay, chlorine 3.2. So how you will minus one thing? Greater value minus smaller, not smaller minus greater. Okay. So you have to write like this one. 3.2 minus 2.2. What is your answer?
1.2. 1.0. 1.4.
It's 1.
Polar.
So it's polar. So it's polar.
Equal.
Will you have this one? It's polar. So this is the third difference between polarity. Polar and non-polar. See, this value between 0.3 to 1.7. 0.3 to 1.7. Any question about polar and non-polar? Yes, for you. We need value to decide either it is polar or non-polar. The first.
Okay, we have already two.
We have already equally and unequally, is it? Yeah. Same atom and different atom, is it? Yeah. So we have another terms to differentiate between them. If question in your exam with the reference of electronegativity, then what you will do there? You cannot write equal and unequal. So you cannot write partial positive and negative. Yes, you must memorize this concept also. That is only the small concept. But always we use a proper and conceptual things for exam. So in exam, you will get the question with the reference of electronegativity. Equal and unequal, only just concept. When you will see the atoms, if same atom, okay, this one is non-polar. If different atom, this one is polar. But this question with the reference of electronegativity, it's faida or mafi faida? Now, what do you think about? Yes, you say so. Numbers I will provide you. Just you will see which one is there. Now, network covalent bond. What do you understand from network covalent bond? The many carbon atoms join together, not one bond, sharing of one electron, sharing of two electron, or many electrons. Occur a compound element where all the atoms are bonded with a covalently bond. Example, diamond or graphite. That is network covalent bond because we have many carbon here. This dot is show the carbon atom. Red line the bonding between them. So many carbon when we join one another, we call network covalent bonding. Because not specified 1 bond, 2 bond, 3 bond. What do you understand from coordinate covalent bond? This is the last type of covalent bond. Coordinate or dative. Both are same. Maybe the question will come with the reference of coordinate or with the reference of dative bond. Both are the same meaning, same concept, but names only the difference. So what is the answer for this? When they share a pair of electron, not one, a pair of electron. When they share a pair of electron with other element, we call dative bond, we call coordinate bond. Look at here, example, ammonia having a free lone pair, there are 3 hydrogen plus hydrogen H positive. They are going to form a chemical bond. Bond formed between nitrogen and hydrogen. How they form the bond? You know, here a pair of electron, lone pair. This nitrogen will share, not donate, pair of electron with hydrogen. With hydrogen. You can write hydrogen now and show this one by arrow. This doesn't mean that hydrogen is separate. No. When you show the lone pair with the arrowhead with another element, that type of bond is called Gatty bond. And initially I told you that chemical bond will show a single line. That is normal bond. But if you show the bond between two atoms with the arrowhead and also with the lone pair, that type of bonding is called Gatty bond. So whenever you see within a structure or the given to you defined Gatty bond or coordinate covalent bond, then what you will do and how you will define? When they share a pair of electron with other element. When they share a pair of electron with other element, we call Gatty bond, we call coordinate bond. So you can write here now. So collectively you can write NH4 positive. That's what is written there, NH4 positive. Similar with AlCl3. Yes.
What is the difference
This you will not understand or here not understand? Here. Okay, now I am going to explain you that what is coordinate or what is Gatty bond. First, focus on the definition. Here they share a single electron. Single electron here. Single electron here. So we cannot call pair of electrons. But when one atom has shared pair of electron with another atom, as a result of sharing of electrons, we call coordinate bond or Gatty bond. When they share a pair of electrons, not single. Clear now? Here nitrogen having the 3 electrons, we call the lone pair because 2 electrons, so we call pair. When this nitrogen shared a pair of electrons with hydrogen as positive, even on the projector. So when nitrogen shared a pair electron with a positive hydrogen, we show the sharing in this way with the arrowhead, not with a single line. Why? Because this arrowhead with a lone pair we call Gatty bond. Actually, there is a bonding. You can write like this also. Paras. Sharing of electron. But if you show this way, we cannot specify either it is non-covalent bonding or Gatty bonding. So when you draw the line, when you draw the arrowhead towards that element where you are going to share electron. So we are going to share with hydrogen. So arrowhead towards hydrogen. Clear now? So when we share electron, a pair of electron with any other element, that type of bonding is called Gatty bond. Others we can just write a one line. But for dative or coordinate, there is a specification of like this arrow. Clear now, Isham? Now, this is the summary what we studied before. That how do we know that whether it is ionic and covalent? We will compare the electronegativity of atoms. You understand why we need electronegativity? We are going to compare the bonding. And we want to know either it is ionic and covalent. If small difference between both, covalent. If medium difference we want like 1, 1.5 till 1.7, we call which type of bonding? Polar. And if large difference like 2, 2.3, 2.5 and 3, that is called ionic bond. Here this is also the summary what I explained you before. The types of chemical bonding, the covalent bond form as a result of sharing of electrons. So I told you one thing that when they shared electron, it means there is attraction between both atoms. That attraction we call electronegativity between two atoms. One is greater electronegativity, another one is smaller electronegativity. So always the element having the higher value of electronegativity attract other element towards itself. Like chlorine here, 3.2, but hydrogen 2.2. So hydrogen will attract hydrogen towards itself to form a chemical bond. This is called attractive forces between element. You can see this one. This is first element. This one is the second element. Electron of proton of first nuclei attracted by electron of another nuclei. And when they attract each other, the force, as a result of force of attraction, we form a chemical bond. We form a chemical bond. If different atom, then. But if same atoms like H and H both have same value 2.2, 2.2, the difference is 0. So what do you think? The same charges, they repel or they attract each other? Same charges, they repel or they attract each other? They repel. Why?
Because